I'm here on a cold January day in Mexico City. Today's location, I'm going to do a little video tour of this. This is a museum called Modo, which is M-O-D-O, which stands for something, Museo, something. I know, but I can't remember. It's an exhibition of concert posters, of gig posters. It's called 1025, 1025. The 10 represents the 10 years that Mercadorama has been doing gig posters. That's I guess the premier company that does gig posters in Mexico. And 25 years of Ames Brothers. I've been buying, my first Ames Brother poster was in 2003. They, I guess, are most famous for doing Pearl Jam posters. My first Ames was a Pearl Jam poster when I saw them in Buffalo, New York in 2003. And they've got an exhibition here of I don't know how many posters. I came to this exhibition the day it opened. Yeah, I think it was in October. And there are hundreds and hundreds, maybe it's nice to say over 1,000, I don't know, but there are a lot. So I'm going to go inside and show some of these posters. And a good place to start is the anatomy of a gig poster. So this gives like a little explanation of what you can expect to see. And the band or the festival, which will be there in this case, Coachella. The drawing, the actual art, place and date. There it is. Some of them, a lot of them are signed and numbered. You're going to find that down in the bottom right corner. And if they're signed, like a lot of mine are, it's there. In this room, this is the first stop in the tour. As soon as you come in, this this is cool to show. This explains what the gallery is, or the exhibition, and gives, I guess, a little bit of the history of this type of art. It shows the process of screen printing here, the different, I don't know what you would call these, different layers, I guess. And then whoops, I'm looking at this backwards. Then they lay them on top of each other, I guess, and put them all together. I can't explain it very well, but maybe you get the idea. They put them here to dry once the ink has been applied. There's the different stages of one poster. So these are different stages. And this is the final product. It's printed on hologram paper, foil paper. There's the Mercadorama people working on printing. So this is more about the screen printing process than the actual gig posters. This could apply to anything. T-shirts, they got beer bottles here. This little room is from Corona Capital, which is a big annual concert here in Mexico, Mexico City, in November every year. And they're, I guess, one of the big sponsors of this exhibition. Exhibition or exhibit? I think it's an exhibition. Gallery, let's call it. All the years, the posters, going back to 2012 is when this festival started. Oh no, 2010. So there was the first one. 2010 was the first one. And then most recent was November, a couple of months ago, 2 months ago, November 2019. Alright, this will be the first main one that I show. Some really good ones in this room. I've got some notes to make. I don't really care about Primus as a band, but I love that poster. Great colors, roundish. There's a cool Pearl Jam one from Chile in 2018. Judas Priest. You don't. I'm not really a band that's associated, I think, with gig posters, but that's pretty cool. That's from. Where is this from? Cedar Park Center. I'm not sure where that is. Maybe in Ohio. No, that's Cedar Point. Anyway, cool Faith No More one. My first note is going to be about this one, this big long vertical Pearl Jam poster. This is from Mexico City in 2011. What's noteworthy about this one was I've seen Pearl Jam I think close to 20 times. I have gig posters of all their shows that I've seen since 2003. This is the first one I didn't get. And you can see it's really long, that one. I didn't get that one. I kind of forgot when I went there. Pearl Jam posters are very hard to get. I think a lot of them are because people know they're limited and people kind of go in and hoard them, even if they maybe don't like the poster or like, you know, they maybe buy it to go sell it on eBay. But I kind of forgot about this poster, and when I went to go buy it, they did have one left. The guy in the merch stand said he was keeping it for himself, so I couldn't buy it. So then, because of the way I am, I didn't buy a Pearl Jam poster the next time I saw them too. So that was the end of my Pearl Jam poster. And I'm going to see them in Phoenix in a couple of months. And then again, hopefully in Mexico City. Maybe I'll start again with Pearl Jam. And there's another great vertical Pearl Jam poster. That one's really cool. And just to go back to this one quickly, to that one, that's by a guy named Ken Taylor. To be honest, I don't really like this poster. I mean, it's okay. I would have bought it for sure. And I can tell you my personal philosophy of these posters is I buy them no matter what. If I like it or don't like it, if I'm at a gig and they have it, I will always buy it. And also, no matter how much I like a poster, if I wasn't at the show, I'm not going to buy it. That's a cool one. That's Brujeria. That's a Mexican band. I love that one too, Coachella. That's a beautiful poster. Look at that. Excellent. That's maybe the coolest one in terms of design because of the shape of it. It's kind of like a 3D cereal box. And these three, I have two of the three in my house. I'm missing the middle one. This is a triptych. I saw two of those three Metallica shows in Mexico City about 3 years ago. And as I said, if I didn't go to the gig, I don't buy the poster. So I went to this show, the first, and I went to the third. I didn't go to the middle show, so I'm missing that poster, and I don't care. If the triptych isn't complete, that's okay with me, because it would bother me more to have a poster from a show that I didn't attend. So this is the main part of the Mercadorama section, and these are all by Mercadorama. These are all, I guess, or almost all shows that were in Mexico. No, that's not true, because the first one I see is Norway and Germany and Brazil. Anyway, there's Foo Fighters in Mexico City. My friend Mike Sandoval did that poster. I love it, and I didn't go to that show, and I regret not going to that show because I would have loved that poster. And also that show was the day that Malcolm Young died, and Foo Fighters opened with Let There Be Rock, which would have been really cool. But these are all Queens of the Stone Age. They have some pretty cool posters. That's Mexico City, 2 years ago. I like that one. I like the colors of this. Oh, that's Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age. What are they called? Queens of the Stone Age?
Queens of the Stone Age era.
Queens of the Stone Age era. She adds the word. Lots of cool colors here. This is another one. I don't like Café Tacuba, but that's an excellent poster. As is that. Oh, this whole wall is Café Tacuba. Oh, here's the one I showed earlier. There's the well, no, that is printed on hologram paper, but it doesn't have the border around it. It's cool. Eliguera. My friend Juan Manuel Nares did one of these. I can't remember which one. Continuing into the next room. Juan Gabriel. I'm not sure about that one. Love the colors of that one. I think I'm drawn to bright colors. I like bright colors. That one's cool. Zoe. And this one, I've got this one in my house. That's Soundgarden from their first and only, what turned out to be their only show in Mexico. That was in Mexico City in 2013. I was at that show. I bought that poster. Actually, no, you know what? Now that I think about it, I didn't buy it at the show. I didn't even see it at the show. I think it was about 2 years later. I somehow came across it and found it online. I had no idea that it even existed, but I did purchase it nonetheless. And I got mine. I got a signed and numbered one too. This is by a guy called Smithy1. And I can't remember what number mine is, but I like that poster. I like all my posters. This was another one. I have a note about this one. This was when Metallica played 8 nights in Mexico City. They played 8 nights at a 20,000 seat arena. And that was one there were no posters at the shows. But I saw it after, and I can't get this poster anywhere, so I wouldn't mind adding that one to my collection because I was at this show. Yeah, you can see it was 29th and 30th of July, and then the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 6th, 7th, and 9th of August. I went to the very last one, August 9th. I would like to have that poster. It's a small one, but not my favorite because it's not super colorful, but as I said, I want posters from the gigs that I was at, so I would like to add that one to my collection, as well as that Ken Taylor Pearl Jam. But I think they're both very hard to find and very expensive when found. Next room, not too much here that I'm interested in. This one is really cool, again, just for the colors and that it's on foil paper. That one's really cool. That one's on foil paper too. That one's really cool. That's Glastonbury from last year. Excellent poster. I really like this one too, again with the colors. And so is that. These are all some good ones. Now on this wall, there are 3 that I have hanging in my house. I'll go by these quickly. This is Cadaver. This was for 2 shows they did here in Mexico City in 2018, 2 years ago. They played at the Hell in Heaven Festival, and then they did a secret kind of surprise last minute small tiny show at Caradura the next day, so that poster represents both of them. That's by my friend Rata Rodriguez. So I have that one. This, I love this one. I have this one too. This is Iggy Pop in Mexico in 2017. He opened for Metallica on those 3 shows. Metallica and Iggy Pop played 3 shows at the Forosol Stadium. It holds 50 or 60,000 people. I'm not even an Iggy Pop fan, but I love that poster. And I went to the first show and I saw it and I thought, oh, that was really cool. And then when I went to the 3rd show, I said, I gotta buy it. And that one's also by my friend Juan Manuel Nares. Cool. And then the last one in this room that I have is Metallica, also from those same 3 shows. This was kind of strange. I don't know how this came about. This is by another friend of mine, this guy I know called Kraken. And I never saw this at the shows. They had the other 3 that I showed earlier, the triptych. And this is one poster for all 3 shows. And I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't at the shows, or I didn't see it. Anyway, Kraken gave that to me. He gave that to me. It showed up in my mail one day. So, Kraken, if you ever watch this, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, for me, this is what it's all about. We're in the Ames section here. This is what Ames is known for. Most of them, well, they obviously do other things, but Pearl Jam is how I knew about them. So this is all Pearl Jam here, and I have many of these. Well, not many. I mean, comparatively, I have very few. But this is all Pearl Jam. I love this one, Ghost Rider. That Pittsburgh one is cool, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lily is giving the thumbs up to this one, New Orleans. I saw them 5 times on that tour in 3 different countries. I saw them in, first of all, in Buffalo in 2003. Well, that was March, April, something like that. 2003, April 2003. And then in Toronto a couple of months later in June. And then they played 3 nights in Mexico City, and I flew to Mexico City for those 3 shows. There was only one poster for all 3 of those shows. Now they do, when they do multiple nights, they do a different poster for each night. But back then, it was just one poster covered multiple nights, and many more here. I won't show all of these, but I can flip through them and see if. Oh, I love that one, the Kiss Rock and Roll Over tribute. That was from Benaroya Hall. I like that poster a lot. And what else? Anything else noteworthy? Let me take a look. See if any of mine here. That, by the way, that poster there, the Statue of Liberty. I have that one. I guess back then they used to, I don't know if cheating is the right word, but they used to kind of have one design, like they would have a design for Texas, and if they were playing San Antonio and Houston and Dallas, they would use the same design, maybe change the colors, and then of course change the date. But I had that one for Buffalo, and they just changed. That one's from Uniondale, New York, and that was the night before I saw them. That was a famous one from Madison Square Garden in 2003. I remember people were flipping out about that because there were only like 50 available, and that was a huge show, and a lot of people were upset that they didn't get that poster. All right, a lot of mine are represented in this room. I'm still in the Pearl Jam Ames part, which also goes over here, which I'll get to in a minute. Here we go. This room has a lot of mine. I really like this one too. I love the colors of it. That's Chicago 2000, maybe 2016, I'm not sure. But of the ones that I have this one. I was at this show. This was in Cleveland in 2006. I saw them 4 times on that tour. Once in Cleveland, once in Detroit, and twice in Toronto. There's one of the Toronto shows I was at. They played there 2 nights. They opened the tour in Toronto in 2006. That was in May 2006. Supporting, for me, what is my favorite Pearl Jam album for sure, the Avocado album. And the poster from the other night is not going to be here because it was done by someone else other than Ames. And I saw that one. That was Detroit. Also in 2006, one of the 4 shows I saw. And I think the only horizontal poster that I have. I had good seats for that. I had, I think, 3rd row floor. A girl that I knew that I just met that night, at the last minute, she had to go. There was something wrong with her child or her baby, and she had to leave, and I already had a ticket, but she gave me a much, much better ticket, so I sat there. This one is another one I have. This was from the 2005 tour. I saw them 4 times on that tour. This was their Canadian tour. That was from Toronto, 2005. And I have that one also. I was at that show. That was in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada in 2005. One of my favorite Pearl Jam shows ever. That was just an incredible show. Cool that they were playing Kitchener, because Kitchener is only maybe 200,000 people. It's not a very big place. London, I saw this one too. I have that hanging in my house. That's London. I was at that one. And maybe one of my favorites just for sentimental reasons. That was from their 2003 shows in Mexico City. They did As I mentioned earlier, they did 3 shows, and the one poster encompassed all 3 shows, and those were my first concerts ever in Mexico. That was 17 years ago, and that had a lot to do with how my life has turned out 17 years later, those 3 shows. So good concerts, but also, I guess, literally life-changing. People maybe overuse that term, but those concerts did kind of shape my life, and part of the reason why I live in Mexico now. All right, now disregarding the fact that I don't have a single poster in this room, which means I wasn't at any of these shows, just visually and quickly, this is my favorite part of the exhibition. Every poster here is great. I like the style of all these. They're all really colorful, cool designs. And again, these are all Pearl Jam and all Ames. There's Sean Kemp. I guess that was from a Seattle show. Kentucky. Love these colors. Brazil. Excellent Donkey Kong tribute there from Madison Square Garden. Here's a note about this one. I should have this one. This was another one that I missed because I'm kind of stupid and weird about some stuff. Once I missed that other poster in 2011, I kind of said, all right, well, I'm done with Pearl Jam posters, because I didn't want to have missing ones in my timeline. But I really like this one. That other one that I missed, as I mentioned earlier, in 2011, I didn't really like. I love this poster. Love it. And I know this came in different color variations, but that is an awesome poster, and I really wish that I had it. So if somebody has it and would like to contact me about it, please do so. And look at that. I love it. I love the colors. I love the drawing. There's another one equally as good. Great colors. All of this whole wall is cool. There's a Transformers tribute. These 2 are great. Maybe baseball might be the only thing that comes close to me that I love as much as music, baseball. So those are cool. Seattle, the Mariners, and what is that? So now Fenway Park. Although that doesn't really look like the Red Sox, it's pretty cool nonetheless. Again, great colors in all of these. There's another rare horizontal one. I like this one a lot. I like the splash of color here in the black and white. Excellent. And this one is cool. And Lilia is a graphic designer, so she has a lot to point out to me, and oh, this is cool. I just noticed this, that the scores, the high score is the year from 2010, and the score is the date, May 21st.
If I may ask, this is like a copy of the normal Lucha Libre cartel.
Yeah, it's from a real, based on the real poster. Yeah, very famous in Mexico. So as I was saying, you're a graphic designer.
Yeah.
What do you think of Ames?
They're great artists. I love their concept, their colors. They're very unique, and you can identify their designs.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, this is another of my favorite rooms. And before I start doing my business that I talk about, for anybody who's interested, I usually don't plug or promote my own stuff, kind of because I forget, and I guess I forget because I don't care. But if you're still watching this after all this time, I did 2 videos of my personal collection of posters in my house. One about 5 years ago, and then I updated it. I need to do another because I've got probably 10 or more posters. But anyway, if you like this, if anybody's watching and you want to see my posters, you can go back and look those. Just search for my name and posters or something like that. And this might be the last room. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But anyway, this is another Ames room, and this is another great room, just for color and design too. But I love ones like this. Maybe I'm attracted to ones with animals. Because now that I think of it, some of the other ones had animals. But cool. And one that I do want to comment on is this Temple of the Dog, another triptych. This is an Ames Brothers triptych. For anybody who doesn't know, if you're watching this, you probably do know, but before there was Pearl Jam, there was a band called Mother Love Bone. I was into Mother Love Bone at the time. That was the kind of music I was listening to. And I was into Mother Love Bone in '89. And this guy right here, Andrew Wood, who was the singer of Mother Love Bone, he died. And so the guys who ended up being Pearl Jam, well, it was Jeff Ament and Stone Gossard, who went on to be in Pearl Jam, who were in Mother Love Bone with this guy Andrew Wood. They did a tribute to him with Chris Cornell and Matt Cameron from Soundgarden called Temple of the Dog. And Matt Cameron, of course, has now been in Pearl Jam for like 22 years. But anyway, Temple of the Dog did these 3 shows in LA in November 2016. And those are 3 beautiful posters from those shows. Fantastic. Maybe especially that one. I guess to pick just one, I like that one, but I guess they'll do it together. A lot of Metallica represented here too. Metallica, I think, only started doing gig posters in at the Hardwired tour in 2016 or 2017, and Ames did a lot, including this one and this one. And I went to an Ames Brother conference here in Mexico City a few months ago, and they talked about that. I think they said Metallica might have been a little bit uneasy at first with their logo not being used, like that one and that one and that one. They said I remember they talked about saying that. But anyway, there's one of my favorites ever. There's obviously from Edmonton. I've been a huge Metallica fan since 1983. I bought Kill 'Em All when it was a brand new album, and I've been a Wayne Gretzky fan since even earlier than that, before that. So to see those 2 come together is pretty cool. Fantastic. They hit a home run with that one. Or I guess not a home run, but a goal. They scored a shorthanded goal or a power play goal for that one. And now the white balance is getting funky. I think a lot of Metallica ones here. Oh, Eddie Vedder too, of course. They do Eddie Vedder. There's a Metallica from San Francisco with the logo. More Metallica. Also Metallica. Portland. More. I don't know if I'll show them all. Let's see. Soundgarden. That was reused from a Pearl Jam poster from, my white balance is turning orange. A Pearl Jam poster, I think from Santa Barbara, or from 2003 tour anyway. But I've seen that guy, or Boston maybe. That one I'm not even sure who that is. Oh no, I'm not sure. Fish, I don't care about Fish. Fish, no, I'm not interested here. Soundgarden, that's a cool Soundgarden one. Linkin Park, more Fish. Oh, there's more Metallica. That's also Metallica. I remember that one. That was really cool. Foxborough, when Metallica did a stadium tour of the U.S. a few years ago. That's a great one too. From Dallas. That's like, to me it looks like Boss Hogg. I don't know if that was I guess it was the inspiration for it, and it kind of looks like it, but that's a little take on the Hardwired album. And what else? Anything else? But cool stuff. I don't know if there's more. I can't remember. This might have been the last room, or there might be more. So if there's more, I'll continue. And if not, that was the end of it. I don't like to tell people to leave comments, but if you want to say anything about any of the posters, any posters you have, talk about your poster collection, you can do that. It feels so stupid saying that, encouraging people to leave comments. But that might be it. But if not, you might be in for a little bit more, but I'll continue. All right, I decided we were at the end, so I'll wrap this up proper with some words from the expert, from the master, from the the white balance is turning orange. Anyway, so yeah, what do you think about everything, the exposition, the design?
Because I remember when I studied visual arts, so we were taught how to do posters with silk screen. So I know the process and I like it, and I like the posters of Ames brothers because they're very identifiable. Like I like how they use the letters to make shapes in the posters like that. The use of the
perspective.
Yeah, the use of perspective. You know how everything
instead of being flat
with a dimension, like that, and I like how they can also just use two colors there. But it's interesting. It doesn't get boring. I don't know. I think it's.
Can you identify how many colors are on a poster? Because they often advertise the posters as being 3 or 5 or 7. Like for example, I can see this. Obviously, there's just red and green, and it's very simple. Or that there's green and red and black, and that one's there's just black and red. But something like
this, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
The more colors there are, it's more difficult because you have to print more layers. Each color is one layer, and it's more work, and you have to make everything sit right into place. Like that's just 2 colors, but that's many colors, and it's more difficult. So yeah, it's obviously very, very difficult to make, but it makes for a more interesting poster when there's more colors sometimes. I like that one.
All right, there you have it, the final word.